I actually have 3 freezers. I have a big deep chest freezer and then the refrigerator downstairs. I like to do freezer meals. I like to store in bulk. I have a pretty good idea in my head of all the stuff that I have, but I don't have a good inventory of it. I want to be able to look at a sheet, look at something that says what it's in my freezer instead of me going and digging in my freezer. And then if I don't have an inventory written down, I forget what's in my freezer. I totally forgot that I have a big Costco bag of stir-fried vegetables. I honestly thought we ate through that bag. No. So I wanted to share with you some printables that are free that I found on Pinterest that are gonna help me keep track of what's in my freezer. So this first one here is really interesting. It's a freezer inventory, but it's sectioned off in categories. Like she has main dishes, meat, seafood, and dairy items, veggie, side dishes, breakfast snacks, and other. This is an interesting concept. I'm kind of liking this sheet because for main dishes, I mostly have in my freezer. I don't know, I'm kind of liking that it's broken up. This one was interesting. So I like this sheet here because it does give you a long space to put your freezer items in there and then quantity. And when I do freezer meals, I usually make more of the same meal. So I like that where I can have the quantity on it. Okay, next one. This one I really like. Okay, it just says freezer inventory and it has the item that you can write and then it has some check boxes. I can really structure my freezer, like how many packages of chicken breasts do I have downstairs, chicken thighs, the steaks, the cube steaks, the beef stew meat, my freezer meals, like how many stuffed shells, taco soups, meatloaf, Salisbury steaks, chicken roll-ups, and all these things that I make. I might actually have a better track with this sheet in all sense. Let's go, aprons on, let's go clean our freezers, come on. Oh my word, here's my upstairs freezer. How am I supposed to keep track of any of this? So I'm gonna clean this out, wipe it all down, and write down my inventory. You can see I have everything out on my counter. I also made inventory on this sheet of paper of what's in my freezer. And guys, I already have like, I don't know how many meals that I can make from this. So I'm gonna make a meal list so I know what I can make. So now I'm going to organize all this stuff back into this freezer, except for my freezer meals that are wrapped up in this apron. I'm gonna bring them downstairs, and now I'm making my meal list. Okay, that seriously took me 10 minutes, you guys. It went really fast. My fingers are freezing. For lunches, this is what I can make. We can have burgers. We can have Italian gravy, so we can have pasta. Bags of peas, and the stuff that I do have, we can have chicken pot pie and 7-layered salad. For lunch, we have nuggets, gumbo with the shrimp or jambalaya. Also with the Cool Whip, I can make with the stuff that I had downstairs, my orange salad. All I need is cottage cheese, fish. I have 2 Swahi fish fillets, so that could make a lunch. And then the meatballs, oh my goodness, we can add those to our pasta, or the sweet and sour meatballs with rice. So I already have 9 meals that I could do right there. We are in my laundry room, and here is my fridge and freezer, and then my deep freezer right here. The reason why I always have totes on them is because during the moving into this house, something happened where the freezer got banged and it doesn't shut all the way, so we have heavy totes on them. But it still works, so we're going to keep on keeping on with that. I have a couple of freezer meals in here. This needs to be wiped down. It is disgusting. And I did have a lot more freezer meals in here. Then I went out of town and Derek ate it all with the kids. Time to clean it out, get inventory of the freezer meals, and get ready to add more in. Here is the deep freezer. I went through everything. And I have a video on this on my food storage room. I'll link it, but I talk more about the bins that I use in my freezer. But I got these recycle bins at the Container Store. They're great to put in your deep freezer because they have a handle. I have another one just like this below it, full of roasts. So they're easy to stack on. I noticed that when I went through my freezer, I thought I had a lot more ground beef in there. Nope, I only have 4 pounds of ground beef left, and we go through that very fast. So I'm glad I did this because I thought I had a lot more than that. So I took inventory of everything here. I did put some of the ground beef and some of my chicken thighs that are in here in the freezer next to this one for meals in the upcoming week. I took inventory of my freezer. On this shelf I have 3 pounds of the ground beef. There's one upstairs. I have my freezer meals here, some of the chicken and like cheese that I have left. I put the sheets up. I put them in protectors, so I'm going to bring my pen and stick it in this sheet here. I'll just slip the pen down in here. So this sheet I am mainly using for my freezer meals. So I have the freezer meals that are in there right now, and I decided to do the slash mark. So this shows how many I have in there, and when I use it I'll just make it another line the opposite way and make an X, and that way when I make more of this freezer meal I could just keep adding it until the sheet fills up. So this side is going to be what's in this top freezer, and this side is what is in the deep freezer. I'm excited about this. I encourage you to find a way to help you keep organized your freezer or your fridge. If I want to be able to know what I could do, save money on bills, like I don't need to go and buy all this stuff at the grocery store. We have a ton of food. We have meals. I might need to go get maybe some fresh produce and a couple of things here and there, but I really just want to tighten things up and just use what we have and shop the home and not shop the stores.